Today you're going to follow the prestigious Tokaido. It's the road in Japan that travelers often followed, and this game seeks to emulate those journeys. Your job for this game is to have the most enjoyable time as possible as you go from Tokaido to Edo in this 2 to 5 player game by Antoine Bauza. You will pick a different character, get their starting money, and they'll have their own ability. You'll give them a color, which is going to correlate to the different tokens that you will have on the board. Now, if you get expansions, you can get miniatures, you can get metal coins instead of the cardboard tokens. But for the base game, this is what we have. And each person takes turns performing one action from the one farthest back in the line going to the furthest. All you do is you take your character and you move it to one of these spots on the road, as long as it's before the inn. For instance, if you go to the village, you can draw 3 of these souvenir cards and buy up to however much you want as far as souvenirs go. And what you're trying to do is complete a set, because each card is going to give you victory points that will move you up along the track, and the person who has the most points had the most enjoyable time in Tokaido. So again, you're trying to get sets because those sets will give you bonus points at the end of the game. Or you can go here and you would be able to give money to the temple. Each time you give any money, you get 1 victory point for each dollar or each coin you give, and then at the end you get more points for the score. If you go here, you get an encounter. That's these cards, and they can give you anything from victory points to money. This one here gives you instantly 3 victory points. Do you know what the encounter is? No, it's somebody that's along the street. You stopped, you saw them, and you decided to have a conversation. It's whoever you met on the way to Tokaido. Now, there's 3 other spots on this board that kind of go together, and you'll see these 3 symbols. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to collect a panorama. And you'll start off with the first one in the series, depending on which spot you get, and they'll each get you victory points. But eventually, you'll paint a whole scene as if you were stopping at each spot and painting a picture of what you see on the road. And again, at the end of the game, you get extra victory points if you've completed them. And that's what these here are, objective cards. That would be those 2. This is your farm. If you stop at the farm, it's assumed you're helping the farmer, and he pays you 3 coins. And then they repeat as we go through. And then once everybody's had their turns, again, going from farthest back to front, which is why, again, I would recommend this with 3 or higher players. And again, it goes 2 to 5, but you can do 2, but it makes you have that AI component to it. But once everybody gets to the next inn, it stops. And then we draw food cards. And the food cards are neat because they give you victory points for purchasing. The one that got to the inn first gets to buy first. You always draw 1 more than the number of players that you have. And you can never buy the same meal twice. You can only, because you want to have new experiences on the road. So that's that. Now this guy here, I wanted to show this off because it came to special abilities. Before you buy food, he instantly gets any one of these panorama cards for free. So that's pretty cool. And this one, when he buys food, it's worth additional, depending on how much it costs, an additional number of victory points. So if he was to buy this, he would get 6 plus 1 So he'd get 7 points. And this one would be 9, and so on. And that's really all there is to Tokaido. It's not a complex game, and the expansions do add some extra to it, which is pretty cool, or else I wouldn't have got them. But your goal is to just... It's the strangest thing. If you know me, this is not a game I should like. I like the story and the action games and so on, but this is just... see what happens on the way on Tokaido. It's really one of the cooler things that you're just traveling along this road, and whoever has the most victory points by the end isn't someone that... it doesn't feel like so much that they outperformed, it's just that they enjoyed their experience more on the way on the road. Not that you didn't have a good time too, yeah, but they just did a little bit more. So that is Tokaido. Highly recommend you getting this. We have the link for where to buy it. And if you have any questions on how to play this game, or if you're in the area and you want to play this game, let me know. All right, until next time, you have fun. Bye.